I'm Shubhra, and I live in Singapore. Where I'm from is a very long story that we will not cover right now, but at present I live in Singapore. And I took the 1 week intensive 15-hour program of manga, and mainly manga character design. So it was very intensive. From what I understand, the usual 2 week program is, the first week Nao-san explained that they focus on drawing the first week, and maybe the second week they would do storyboarding. So in my head, I was like, oh yeah, totally, we can do everything in 1 week. No, unless you came with some sort of drawing background, which I did not. I think maybe we could have covered a little bit of both, but since I come with zero drawing background, we focus completely on just learning how to draw anatomy, character, front profile, side profile, 3/4 profile, movement, different poses, perspectives, orientation, that kind of thing. So that was enough for me for the 15 hours, because if you have no background, it's quite intense, but I do feel like we covered so much and I learned so much. So every day when I was meeting a different friend, I would show what we've done and they would be like, oh my God, it's like, there's a lot that goes into it. So I'm just really, really grateful for the amount of information that I've learned as well. I think if I had like a month or 2 weeks or a month, I think I could have really covered so much more, which I would have loved to if I did not have a family to go back to. But in 1 week, I think we covered such an extensive range of content and curriculum. And it would have been also nice, I think, staying an extra week to then start trying to do this with storyboarding in that way, because manga storyboarding is very different sometimes, obviously, from graphic novel storyboarding to film storyboarding. But because of graphic novels and previous manga and anime, I kind of have some sense. So I will try, but it's always nice to know that maybe I can always come back. Okay, my background. How long do you have? No, so when I grew up in Hong Kong, and my exposure was Sailor Moon. So I saw it all in Cantonese before I realized it was actually a Japanese cartoon. And that's what sort of opened the world of manga then. But I didn't actually get to read my first manga till I was in university, because everything was Cantonese based. And my first manga to read was actually probably Fruits Basket, and then Nakano, because the Sailor Moon one was very, very different. So then that's kind of how I started to read manga, but I actually was already into anime first. In terms of background, I went to study film first for a couple of months. I studied directing and cinematography in New York, but then left that after 3 months because film is very expensive. And then studied theater instead, of like production, organizing productions in the UK, before becoming an English teacher and coming here, and then moving to Singapore and doing marketing, then sustainability, and now I'm an astrologer and past life regression therapist. So yeah, it's not related, but I've always been drawn to art and storytelling. And in fact, I've written a couple of children's story ideas, but because I can't draw, I've been struggling to actually get it to publishing side. So in a way, doing this was sort of like, oh, maybe if I could learn how to draw basically, perhaps this can be a starting step to at least try and draw it out and then take it to a professional artist to maybe just like refine it better. So that was also one of my motivations. I came with zero expectations. It was my 40th birthday and I just wanted to treat myself because I've been very busy for 10 years being a mom, and then trying to do work on the side. So I really wanted this to just be like spoil myself, but for me, spoiling myself is learning how to draw manga, not shopping and not spas, but just learning about this and immersing myself in anime and manga. So for me, I achieved my goal because I learned how to draw, and I got so much more out of it in terms of the fact that I could actually like draw the final thing that I wanted to come and learn and draw. So, but yeah, I think in terms of what I would like to apply it to maybe later with the storybooks would be great. And I do read a lot of graphic novels, so it was quite nice that I can now sort of like see how I can try and tie that together if I ever wanted to in my non-existent free time at the moment. Maybe in 10 years when the kids are older. Yeah, but would you like to see progression in a way? Yeah. Yeah? Okay. So for example, the first day when we started with faces, this is kind of what we were at. And then this is what we ended sort of with on the very first day. Now, this is Sensei's. Sensei also obviously improved a lot of it, but you know, things like just learning the lines, like you can see Sensei's and you can see mine. It's very bad, but you can compare it that way. Then just learning how to use the different materials and how you would ink it with the nib pens and stuff, and that's all on day one. So I thought that was quite a quick progression to get to there. And then as we moved through the week, then it was understanding like human anatomy and perspectives and angles. And then we got to this, right, which was yesterday. And then today, since it was last class, we got to like much more complicated poses. And this is sort of like the reason I got into manga in the first place, was the Sailor Moon comics. So I think my friends are all going to be really proud of me because we're all in the same boat there. But yeah, so in that way, I guess I came and accomplished whatever I could. If anyone is interested in drawing manga and is interested in, or at least has some art background, it would be also helpful. But even if you don't and you have the idea that you like to draw, I think that helps, obviously. But if anyone wants to actually learn it, then this is a great introductory course, I think, especially if you have no clue. Because I do remember some people were like, oh, you can just go on YouTube. If you're someone who doesn't like learning through a screen, probably of my generation, if you liked working with someone one-to-one, which I think makes such a difference, then this is the course for you.